Lawrence throwing for Kirk. He's got him towards the pylon, and it's a touchdown.
So the Jaguars got things going. They got the lead in the second half. They scored 20 points, the most of the season, and then they just couldn't slam the door shut. And it ends up, Dan, in more heroics for Houston.
Yeah, it was. They didn't make plays when they needed to, and that meant Houston got the ball at the end. And, man, C.J. Stroud made him pay with a former Jaguar, Dare Ogunbowale, scoring the game winner. That stings a little bit at NRG Stadium. It all added up to a Texans win, a Jaguars loss. They're 0-4 to start the season. What does this mean going forward? We're going to talk about it right now here at Strings on Jags Report Live.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
My status?
Yeah. After an 0-4 start.
I mean, no. I mean, it's kind of a strange question, but okay.
I guess in a way, Doug's just turning the tables. We judge him, now he's judging us on the questions being asked here at every news conference. Strange question, perhaps, but I got to tell you, if this was Philadelphia, they would have been asking that question after 5 out of 6 losses to end the year last year.
Well, as we welcome you to the program, look, I mean, I'm going to say this. The Jags have lost, what, 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Right? Doug Pederson, we were told by the owner that this is the best team he's ever had. They've started this year 0-4. They lost 6 of their last 7 last year. Yeah, I mean, what do you think they're talking about nationally? Of course they're talking about it. You know, the seed isn't hot. Shad Khan's not going to do anything right now. But if they don't turn this thing around and they end up, 4-13, you don't think there's going to be changes? There's going to be a lot of changes, and it could very well come down to, hey, you got to make some changes at the coordinator position. I don't want to do that. Well, then who knows what's going to happen? All we know is this: the Jags are 0-4 to start the season, which is a bit stunning.
Yeah, welcome to Jags Report Live, everybody, and it is stunning, and I think Doug's stunned, and I think a lot of us around here like Doug. I think he's a good football coach, too. It's just not going right now, and when that happens, you point to the head coach. It starts there. We're going to point to the quarterback as well, but that news conference got a lot of attention yesterday after that game. Body language of Doug has been weird over the last few weeks. He's not happy. He's so frustrated, I think, Dan, at the players not making plays. The plays that are there many times, and they're just not doing it, and he doesn't want to throw them under the bus, but he kind of did anyway.
Well, he did, and he doesn't want to, and I understand the fact that he doesn't want to throw his guys under the bus, but in the end, that's what he's got to do anyway, right? They're not executing the plays. Some of the plays are there. We just showed you a couple earlier. They're there for the taking. They're not making them. It's a players' league, Brent. Coaches can coach all they want, but it's ultimately when you're on the football field, if the play's there and you don't execute the play, that's on the players.
There's been a big underbelly story this season, really going back to last year when Indianapolis, when there was a national report about who was calling plays. Well, Press Taylor was going to call plays.
Right.
Now, Doug Pederson won a Super Bowl calling plays over Bill Belichick in Philadelphia. So to set the table here on the play calling stuff, let's go back to 2022.
Okay.
And this was his introductory news conference when asked who was going to call plays.
That's something that I pride myself in. I will say this right now, that I want to call the plays, and I want to put myself in position to help this football team, and that's my not only lead the team, but I've done that in my 5 years in Philadelphia, and I feel really comfortable doing that. And listen, there are times when you get stuck in games and you turn things over. I'm going to be the first one to tell you that you get stuck as a play caller, and you turn it over to some different eyes. And that's just where I'm at. I want to do it. I want to continue to do it and be successful at it.
All right, so that's how he set things up when he was named the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's one of the positives of Doug Pederson. He's a great play caller. He's widely respected as a play caller. You mentioned he won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback as a play caller because he took chances. It was great things happening when Doug Pederson, he's imaginative, creative, right? So that's how he set things up. He said, but if we get in a rut, man, I'll flip it off to somebody else. Maybe they'll flip it off to me. We'll see.
Now, there's some mystery whether he or Press Taylor did call in 2022. He would later say that they shared the duties of it. Bottom line is, from Urban Meyer to year one of Doug Pederson, they increased a touchdown in the point column by average. That is an enormous amount to go a touchdown better the next year. So it worked. Well, last year obviously was clunky. The Jaguars got off to an 8-3 start, some good, some bad. They fold down the stretch. And then that kept the play calling conversation open. And this is what we asked Doug at the NFL Combine earlier this year.
I think those are things that I need to, consider, this offseason, this spring. There were things out of my control that I had to deal with more, the last year. It takes you away from some of that stuff, and I'm not going to get into those. But, so, yeah, it's something that I have to, as part of the evaluation process, and I have to evaluate, myself and impress as decision makers and play callers and see what's best for our team.
So speed this up a little bit, Dan.
Yes.
I mean, he never answered the question.
No.
All off season.
No. And listen, it becomes an issue because of he has a great relationship with Press Taylor. Press Taylor does a lot for him. That's positive. That's a good thing. But who should be calling the plays? Well, when the owner says, I have an opinion on that, then it becomes an even bigger story because clearly the owner intimated to us that he wanted Doug Pederson calling the plays.
Well, and so that's how we came about yesterday's question as just really, should Doug be calling plays because it's better and it worked in terms of W's, but also how about just mixing something up and getting a different voice in there since they've lost 9 out of the last 10 games? Any chance you take the headset over just to change this thing up?
For what? I thought he called a great game. We, as coaches, we can't go out there and make the plays, right? It's a two-way street. So, you guys can sit here and point the finger all you want, and that's fine. Point it right at me. I can take it. Okay? I can take it. So, whatever you want to ask me, say, whatever, write, go ahead.
I don't disagree with yesterday either, by the way. I thought they did call a good game. I thought there was a couple plays, but in any NFL game, any college game, you're going to watch going, why are you doing that at some point? That happens. But overall, they were aggressive. I thought they had great balance. They ran the ball. They passed the ball. They went down the field. I thought overall it was a great game plan and great play calling, except for a couple. But so I agree with that part. You were simply asking them a simple question of, look, do you maybe change things up because suddenly you guys aren't winning?
Yeah, and maybe just the confidence of a different voice, maybe that guy being the voice, who knows? Obviously he doesn't want to do it. But this really comes down to a frustration point with the quarterback not making enough plays.
Yeah.
Doug has been around great quarterbacks.
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence, we think, has the ability to be a very good quarterback in the league. But he's no doubt frustrated with the inconsistent play of number 16 right now.
I mean, it's just... Listen, I can give you all the stats in the world you want about Trevor Lawrence. The problem with football is there are too many stats. Here's what you do. Trust these. Trust these. You watch, I watch, the fans watch, everybody watches. Trevor's not playing well right now.
No.
He's in a slump. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he's lost his confidence. I don't know if it's mechanical. I don't know that part. It's coach's part and his part to figure it out and get playing well again because it's in him. We all know it's in him. They gave him a lot of money this season. That's fine. That's neither here nor there. The bottom line is he's got to perform a lot better or they're going to keep losing. It's just that simple.
It's football, Sometimes you don't hit all those shots, and I expect to though, because I know I need to do that. And you're not going to hit them all, but you got to hit more than I did today. So, I got to be better for my teammates, and I understand that, and I put a lot on myself to do that, and I got faith that it'll happen.
I don't think I'm speaking out of turn, right, when I say that he knows he's got to make those throws. Those are NFL big time throws, and so we just got to keep working. He does it in practice during the week. He works with those guys when special teams are going or defense is going, and yeah, I think the more we keep working at it, better chances of hitting them in the future.
It's time for the game plan, sponsored by Everbank.
Well, the game plan should be hit some of those plays. But the game plan going into this yesterday was start fast. This was a team that looked like it was lacking confidence.
Yeah.
And they got the mega break right here, right? I mean, big-time break on the muff. And then they took advantage of it then. Good start.
Great start, great play call, great touchdown throw, and we're off and running. We got a 7-0 lead on the road. That's what you're looking for. That's what you wanted. And they were able to cash in. Great play by Daniel Thomas there. And so, boom, we're off and running. But in the end, the offense still didn't do enough.
Well, I got a feeling next week's game plan will be finish. because then they couldn't finish the game, right? I mean, that's just the nature of this. You plug a hole, another one pops.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on in Jacksonville. I mean, nobody has the answer. They don't have the answer because you're trying to fix stuff and then something else goes wrong. It's never going to be perfect.
No.
They actually fixed a lot from Monday night to yesterday, but they didn't fix the win column. And until you do that in the NFL, we're going to keep talking about it and keep complaining about it. When we come back, the guy that did win here in franchise history, gets honored this Sunday. It'll be a big week for Tom Coughlin in the glory days of the TC era when things were really hopping around here. He started the week off with a J-Fund event. We'll talk about that when we come back, and we'll talk to these guys as well. We've got to stay together here in Duval, Dan.
Don't throw a flag on 94.
It's the place we party in football season with Jaguars All Access. Welcome to Strings Sports Brewery, everybody. Say hello to our guest tonight. That is Trevor Lawrence. You can bring your party or event to Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield any day and any time. Rehearsal dinners, corporate events, birthdays. Here at Strings, you can enjoy the inside area and the outside area. Good for any weather, good for any occasion. Watch the games, play the games, shoot some hoops. Beer? Yeah, they have that. Plenty of choices. And sure, this is a brewery, but Strings is also a restaurant, and the food is fantastic. A full menu made from scratch meals. And if you need Strings Sports Brewery to help with a party at your place, they cater too. Family, beer, food, sports. Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield.
Action Sports Jags Report live from Strings Sports Brewery, sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
One of the major needs right now is food. Put food on the table because of the expense, et cetera, et cetera. So what we are trying to do today, and a lot of the projects we're involved in, is to give the families a day off from cancer.
That's Tom Coughlin this afternoon as they were at Winn-Dixie giving 11 J-Fund families a shopping spree. Fill up a couple of carts worth of groceries, and just part of the legacy of Tom Coughlin here in Jacksonville, and a major part of it, the Tom Coughlin J-Fund. Welcome back to Jags Report live here at Strings Sports Brewery in Springfield. And, of course, we continue to talk about the Jags, but this is a cool week in Jacksonville, right? I mean, it's about time almost in Jacksonville.
Well, it really is, and it's, look, it's throwback. Right? It's Throwback Sunday, and it takes us back to the days of yesteryear, the late 90s when they were so good, and Tom was such a vital part of what he did. And, he built this franchise. I mean, this is his baby, right? He's always going to be connected. He lives here. As much as he accomplished with the Giants and winning 2 Super Bowls, man, and his legacy is cemented, and it's cemented in part because of the J-Fund, but also what he did with the Jacksonville Jaguars and how he built this franchise up.
Yeah, and we got a chance to visit with him on Friday in advance of Sunday's honor, and it'll be a big day for a lot of former alums and Tom Coughlin fans in the area, and a big day for the Coughlin family as well.
I can tell you this. I mean, it's an honor. I'm humbled by it, but I will accept it on behalf of probably 200 people who put together those first 9 years.
By the way, we'll have much more conversation with Tom throughout the rest of the week. He'll join us live on Countdown to Kickoff Sunday at Everbank Stadium as well.
The drive of the day is sponsored by Ford F-Series. Test drive one at your local Ford dealer today.
All right, Dan, we can talk about the play calling, and it was good for most of the game, but here's where it got a little sideways for me. After a Tank Bigsby big run, first down run was fine. Second down, I think I would have gone heavy in play action, but we can always second guess that stuff.
Sure.
I didn't get third and fourth down, Dan.
I get it. And listen, there was some question about whether Tank Bigsby should be in the game running the football after he just ripped off a 58-yard. Gosh, I wish he would have kept his feet and got in. And, you got to help the guy out, too, at times. You got to make catches. You got to make some things happen. But the fourth down call, I think everybody saw it. I think people saw it at home. I think you saw it in the stadium. I think everybody knew that quarterback draw was coming, and there was a linebacker there, and gosh, old Foley Fatukasi blew it up, and that made it even worse.
And by the way, my big problem with that is you had been running at 6 yards a clip, and they didn't even present the idea of running. Instead, they're at the shotgun at the 6-yard line where a ball's still located.
I was more about taking the points at that time. I just think
I know.
when you're not
I didn't mind going for it.
See, I do, because when you're not going good, okay, Take the points, especially on the road.
Yeah.
You know who's winning football games 17-10? Andy Reid. You want to know why? Because he takes the points.
Yeah, crazy
Take
enough,
the points,
Doug kicked a 52-yarder early in the game on 4th and 1. Remember?
Yeah.
There's the standings. You know the standings.
Yeah,
they don't matter right now, quite frankly. When we come back, contractually obligated to find sunshine and rainbows, even as
What a
the
challenge.
storms kind of roll in on a Monday here in Jacksonville. You know what? There actually were some good things about this football game.
There were.
Like, this was not like Monday night.
No.
We'll take a look at it when we come back. And pour me two, please.
Yeah. 3.
Get local sports on demand with Action Sports Jacks 24/7. All sports, all local, all the time. From the locker room to the field, the Jags, high school football, the Jacksonville Armada, and don't forget the Brent and Austin Show. They're all in on Trevor. Of course. Download the Action News Jacks Now app, available wherever you stream or at actionnewsjacks.com. TV, phone, laptop, desktop. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. Jacksonville sports, all the time.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
There's almost more to like in that game than not like in many respects, other than the win, right?
I love this kid. Ventrell Miller played, last good football player to come out of the University of Florida, by the way. Played a heck of a game. He had 11 tackles, 8 solo, 1 TFL. And what I love, Brent, is he thumped the ball carrier.
Yeah.
Right? Every time he hit somebody with authority, man. That was impressive. I think that guy is going to be starting for this football team right now.
Does he have a chance to take Devin Lloyd's job?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he was terrific.
I'll tell you what, I know you give up stuff in the passing game. I like this kid. I think Buster Brown has played well. You talk about, you haven't had many 7th-round picks that are able to contribute. I think he's done a nice job.
I think he's done enough to show me that he can be a starter in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing that's value for a draft pick that low, so congrats to him. He played well. The tackles played well.
Dan, we have absolutely crushed the offensive line for so long, and they have not played well. This was their best game I think we've seen in maybe a couple of years.
Yeah.
They were very good. They designed some things to help them out as well.
Yeah.
But I did not hear Will Anderson and Donnell Hunter's name.
No.
And those two are really good players.
Yeah, and I think these guys gave up 0 pressures combined, maybe 1. Hats off to Cam and Anton. They did a great job. And the offensive line as a unit, by far, Brett, they're like second in the NFL in yards per carry and running the football.
Yeah. And by the way, we're turning this into a basketball show, it looks like. I think here at Strings Sports Brewery.
We're
did
desperate.
we get one to go in there? Hopefully we did.
Yeah, I think we got one.
Hey, one other note I think worth mentioning on the offensive line, if you can play like that, how about we play like that a little bit more often?
Fair.
Right?
We need that consistency.
You need consistency, and maybe that will trigger it here as we go into the next month of the season. All right, how about, other teams don't seem to have our problems, Dan.
No.
The Baltimore Ravens, 0-2.
Yeah.
They were able to come out of it, and they beat the Bills. I mean, they hammered the Bills, and Derrick Henry's still getting it done.
And Derrick Henry gave Baltimore a discount this year. $8 million a year, 2 years, $16 million. He's like the 9th highest paid. He's making like what Pollard's making and some other guy. I mean, unbelievable. And he still has it. And I love it for him in the respect that, you know why he ran 85 yards on the first carry? Because that dude trains harder than anybody I know.
He's unbelievable. Vikings, how about the Vikings? They're 4-0. I mean, this is impressive what's
Good story
going on.
there,
And you know what? Sam Darnold, obviously, had a little more than other people thought, but this is a great coaching job right now in Minnesota by both the offense and defensive guys.
Yeah, Sam Darnold has the best rating in the NFL right now as far as all the quarterbacks. Kevin O'Connell proving that he is a heck of a football coach. I didn't have the Vikings doing well. It's those two franchises out there, the Vikings and the Bills. They haven't won a Super Bowl, and they're both good franchises.
Yeah.
And,
a lot of history.
Maybe they should meet in a Super Bowl one day because one of them will at least get a win.
And here's the deal. This young man is off to a great start in Jaden Daniels. I refuse to believe that he's that much better than Trevor Lawrence. So why can they go 3 games and just punt it once? And why can Jacksonville not score more than 13 points?
That's a great question. But I tell you what, Jaden Daniels has looked terrific. High percentage of throwing the football. Washington, as you mentioned, they punted one time. And you know who's going to get another chance in the NFL or in college? Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we got to wrap it up here. When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show from Strings Sports Brewery here in Springfield. And also a special edition of the Friday Night Blitz.
On a Monday?
On Monday night because of the storm. So we're going a half hour, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:15.
Is that it,
CBS 47 and Fox 30 out at Rains tonight. And we'll take you there later as well with high school games all over the area.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back, and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week. And that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
This is Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.
All right, welcome back here to Strings Sports Brewery here in Springfield.
Yes.
What? Your Mets, you excited about
Hey,
those?
my Mets got in the playoffs. How about that?
The Braves and Mets are
0-5 to OMG.
Jan, just watching the show, said you're talking about other teams at a Jag show. No, we're also talking basketball and baseball here in a Jag show. It's 0-4, Jan.
0-4, Jan. We got to do something. I don't know what else. No, listen, we got to get a win at home. We haven't lost to the Colts at home, I think, since 14. Does that sound right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so listen, let's not project ahead. Let's just kind of narrow in on one Sunday.
Okay.
And on this particular Sunday, whether Anthony Richardson or, oh dear, Joe Flacco play, let's go find a way to get one win.
Yeah.
All right? Let's just get a win. Let's taste winning again and see what happens. How about
one
that?
thing we haven't talked a lot about offense right now, right?
Okay.
The defense played well in the second half. They adjusted.
They did.
They still couldn't make the stop at the end. I have a problem with their first half defense, Dan. They've had 12 drives allowed in the last 3 games in the first half. They've given up 11 scores on 12 drives. You've got to start faster if you're the Jags defense.
Well, okay, so that's interesting that you've dug deep into the analytics and such, and you have found out that the Jaguars are not playing good defensively at all. The problem is, if you think back to the games, they don't get off the field. They did in the second half. To their credit, they made some adjustments, and they were able to get off the field. We just need a whole 60-minute performance by both sides of the football.
All right, take a look at the Jags schedule coming up. And
oh, dear.
It gets they got to go here, right? I mean, you got to go against the Colts, and then you go to London for a couple. We thought this was going to be the turnaround. If they had beaten the Texans, it changes everybody's outlook.
Yeah.
But listen, just scratch off a win at this point.
Yeah.
It's not even. There's no use projecting anything.
No, not anymore.
You've got to get a W. And when we came out here on this block, I heard somebody say this, and now there's a report out there and a confirmed one that. Pete Rose has passed away. So, breaking news here in the sports world on this Monday night that MLB legend
baseball's
Pete Rose,
hit king never got into the Hall. It's kind of a sad
83
story.
years old.
Yeah.
So we're doing it all here on the show. Got high school football, got a little baseball, and sad news out of the sport of baseball. And hopefully get a win for the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. Again, this is going to be an interesting deal, Dan.
Yes.
I know people are a little off the Jags right now, but you celebrate the Glory Days. There's going to be a lot of throwbacks, a lot of people. Can't wait to see the uniforms. Tom Coughlin goes up there. I hope a lot of folks show up to recognize the day.
A lot of familiar faces as well will be on hand, so enjoy Sunday at the bank.
Yeah, so we will say goodbye from String Sports Brewery. By the way, back at it, Jaguars All Access coming up on Thursday. Christian Kirk will be our guest, and then a big weekend to celebrate.
I'm a Mets fans. I'm a Mets fans.
They're the Mets fans. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jags Report Live from Strings Sports Brewery. Sponsored by Farah & Farah, the exclusive injury law firm of the Jaguars.